In this video, guys, we're going to look at 5 mindset hacks for you to try for your trading. Stay tuned. Hey traders, warm welcome to you. All right, so it's 5 mindset hacks which I've used and they've been very, very useful for me, and I've also recommended to others and they've been very, very useful for them. Now listen, I'm not claiming to be the first person to have used these. Maybe one of these, which we'll get to in a moment, but anyway, it doesn't matter who's used them, who started them out. If they can be helpful to you, then that's great, right? Because all you need is a couple of little things sometimes just to move the needle a little bit, and you get to the next level, you get to the next level. So anyway, first one is stack of money hack. If you've been around a while, you've been on the channel for a while, you'll know that one of the things that I did to kind of stop myself from trading too aggressively, one of the big things that held me back many years ago was trying to be so aggressive when really the play wasn't the right play to be aggressive on. Now, I measured that and I adjusted that and I found the right kind of happy medium where I know when to really press and when to commit and when to kind of just put a little bit in and dabble. So to get to that point, one of the things that used to super frustrate me was that I would commit too much size, I would commit too much risk. My plan would allow me to go up to a certain risk, but I end up committing it too much on plays that weren't really the right kind of play, and I was kind of fumbling around trying to work out the best way to do it. And one of the things I came up with, and funny enough it worked, was I had a stack of cash on my trading desk. No, not for Instagram, guys, not but for allocating to risk. So what I would do is I would say, okay, Matt, say a trade, where's my stop loss on this trade? And say, for example, it was an £800 risk trade. I would go, right, I would thumb through and I'd take £800 out and I would put it in a taped off area on my desk and say, am I happy to lose £800 on this trade? And the answer may well be yes. The answer may well be no. And if I felt uncomfortable with that, I'd peel off some more money until I felt comfortable and go, well, are you more comfortable risking half of that? Oh yes, I'm more comfortable in that. Okay, so that kind of made the connection with the money that's on the screen to the money that's in your, there's actually physical money. Because very often we've got the numbers on the screen, we kind of win and lose and make money, lose money. We kind of lose a little, we get a bit disconnected, which can be an advantage. But very often, guys, that is a disadvantage. And especially these years ago when I was kind of trying to up my size, trying to become more aggressive on the right plays, but then being too aggressive on the wrong plays, sometimes it just makes it go click and you've got that grand sitting there on your desk for this trade and you go, you know what, do I really want to risk on this particular trade? Is this the trade that I want to risk this on? Or if you're going extra big, maybe you put more on, or it doesn't matter the level you're trading at, guys, it could be 50 quid. It makes no difference. The point is, whatever you're trading, it could be 20 grand. The point is, whatever number you've got is, you kind of a little bit more a feeling about it. You've got it on the desk, you say, this is prepared, I'm taking this risk and it will go if I'm wrong. Am I happy with that on this particular deal? And if the answer to that is no, then you peel some off until you're comfortable with it. You go, okay, I'm more comfortable now. Or you go, yeah, I'm really comfortable because it's ticking this box, that box, go. Pull the trigger, let's go. Gives you kind of a time to pause, and also maybe adds that connection between what's on the screen and the actual physical element of money. Now I don't do that anymore, fortunately, but these are little things, hacks that you kind of have to do sometimes just to get over a hurdle. And yeah, it sounds crazy. And you tell someone outside of the trading world that you've done this, they'll look at you and they'll think you're nuts, but you probably get it. And whatever you need to do to get over that stumbling block, then that's the right thing to do. So especially when you're in the beginning of career and you can do that, you can take out that money, you can have it there and you can do it. It's not a bad thing if you're having trouble like I was by putting too much size on a trade. Okay, another thing I was thinking in terms of R. So as you kind of get more seasoned with your trading, you start to think in terms of risk-reward ratio. That's probably a familiar concept to many of you, but if you're thinking in terms of that, then, and again, these are kind of increasing size little hacks, because your mind sometimes goes a little bit crazy, doesn't it? But if you think in terms of R, when you start to increase your size, you're starting from risking £500 on a trade to risking a couple of grand on a trade to risking whatever level you're trading. It's still the same in terms of R. So you say, right, well, it might be a grand risk, but it's 10 grand reward. It might be £100 risk, but it's £1,000 reward. It's the same in terms of R multiple. So when you kind of program yourself to think in terms of R, which is the risk and the reward, so the risk is $2 on the trade or 100 pips on the trade, and the reward is 1,000, or whatever the number may be, then when it's a multiple of R, it doesn't matter the trading size. It's almost like it's a separate deal. And so it becomes easier when you're increasing your size, because you're literally programmed to think in terms of risk reward. You're like, okay, this is a 3R trade. I'm looking for 3 times my risk. Now, regardless of the monetary risk, even if you're trying to trading much more size and you're into significant numbers of risk, if you can still think back to how you were doing when you were risking just a couple $100 or $20 or whatever the number may be for you, then it gets easier to scale things up. Now, does it completely eliminate the fact that you're thinking in your mind, this is a serious amount of cash? No, it doesn't. You've still got to be at peace with that and comfort with that, but it helps you loads. And number 3, guys, is identify the best trading state and use that. So what do I mean by this? So for some traders, the best trading state is a calm, relaxed, happy state, and things just flow for them. For other traders, it's a state of urgency. It's a state of, I need to recover. It's a state of, everyone responds differently. And there's one particular trader who I know will always visualize before he trades that he is in a state of drawdown, because he always trades better when he's clawing his way back. Now, I don't think that is something that will help everybody. I think for many people that will put them in a worse state. But the point is, you recognize the best trading state for you and you try to replicate it. For me, it's one of kind of calmness but alertness. It's one of just really good focus, but not fatigue, not extreme, no urgency there, but ready to strike, a kind of comfort that what will come, and just basically observing and being alert and ready and being objective with my trades. But that's different for everybody, guys. So identify, should I say, your best trading state and try to replicate that and use that when you're trading. 4th thing is get an accountability trading group or buddy. This is a great idea, guys. If you, for whatever you're doing, sometimes we as traders, we're doing a lot of things alone, and that's the way it is. In the day, it's our P&L, unless we're trading as part of a group and we're splitting it, which hardly anyone does. How you perform is the money you make. But having an accountability group, having a kind of guys to bounce stuff off, having guys to kind of support you when you're having a rough week, and be able to support others and kind of share and have this circle, means that you just improve so much quicker. And even if that's a touch point every now and then that is just such a powerful thing to be able to do, guys. It's just something that really helps you put things into perspective, helps you realize that others are going through the same thing as you, makes you go, someone says something, oh, that's how I got over this, you go, great, and so it just helps become a bit more social, and it's more fun, of course. In the day, I'm not trying to extract the fun out of this game, guys. It's an enjoyable business. It's a very, very challenging business. But at the end of the day, we all love the markets. We love to talk about the markets, love to be involved in the markets. That's why we're here all the time. And so it's kind of getting those things and really maximizing those. So, get an accountability trading group. If you see one, then it's well worth exploring. The 5th thing, guys, is set alarms for breaks when day trading. So this is, even though this appears like it's not a trading mindset hack, it is really, because what you're trying to do here is you're trying to preserve your mental capital. It's very easy as a day trader to sit there all day long and trade and trade and trade, or wait for a trade, or wait for a trade and trade. And then by the time you come to kind of real opportunity, you're fatigued. You don't realize it. It's not like physical fatigue where you've run 20 miles or something, or you've been working out at the gym and swimming or whatever, and you physically feel it. You generally don't tend to feel mental fatigue until later on. So you might be hammering away, you're focused, but you don't realize that you're kind of a little bit behind the curve. You might be missing some things. You might be not quite taking all the data in you need. And it's only afterwards you realize actually you were impaired by it, that it's too late by then. So setting alarms for breaks, especially for day trading. If you're scanning and swing trading, guys, you're watching the market, say, hey, listen, I don't want to be in front of the screen between these hours. And not because I don't think there might be opportunity. There might be, but you have to be at peace with the fact that you might miss it. But it's so that you are refreshing yourself, you're doing something different, so that you're only trading during specific hours, or you're only scanning for setups during specific hours, or whatever set or whatever way you trade. And so that really just helps preserve that mental capital. So important. All right, guys, there's 5 trading mindset hacks for you to try. If you've got any others, stick them in the comment section below, and take care. See you next one. Bye-bye.